Welcome back to the Jasmine Star Show. I am CEO of Social Curator, and I am so happy you're here today. I want you to sit back, buckle up, keep your cowgirl hats on and cowboy hats on. You know what? Why cowboy hats? I like a good rancher. I like a good fedora. I just want you to, in fact, you want to know my favorite hat? It's the thinking cap. Oh, I want you to put on your thinking caps because I've been thinking about quite a bit of things. And I think today is about me, the microphone, and you having a real talk meets loving kick in the pants meets little dose sprig salt sprinkling like a Salt Bay inspiration to help you chase what it is you want to do. Why? I can't help it. It's just what I do. I love seeing people succeed. I really love having conversations with people who will take a tiny morsel of a perspective shift, a tiny morsel of a mindset shift, a tiny morsel of business advice, a tiny morsel of I'm not going to mince words and I'm going to call it as I see it, and then make changes. Because change is what leads to changes. I've come to learn and know that we can't do the same thing and expect a different result. So recently in a coaching session, I work with business owners on the inside of Social Curator, and I love these coaching sessions. And I got a question from Amanda. And the question was, where do I start? I feel overwhelmed and I have no idea how to do it. One of the things that sparks me is this question is that whoever you are right now and wherever you are right now, I wonder if you have a similar question to Amanda. Where do I start? Now, Amanda didn't start by saying, where do I start with my website? Where do I start with social media? Where do I start running a marathon? Where do I start cooking family dinner once a week? It was just, where do I start? I feel overwhelmed. And I like this question because we all want to start something. And the idea and the actions of starting are overwhelming. It's pretty much fact. So if we know that, my question to you is, have you ever been there? Because going into this conversation, we could lead with empathy. Or are you there right now? I'm trying to get something started. I am trying to get something started. I wonder if you can relate to her feelings of overwhelm, frustration, anxiety. If you've ever been where Amanda is, or maybe you're navigating those exact feelings right now and you're like, this is the podcast I needed to hear. I'm going to tell you what I told her. So whatever it is. So, you know, that business you want to start, or maybe that course you want to create, or maybe you're like, I've been itching to do that podcast. Like, maybe you're like, I want to go back to blogging. Jasmine, I really want to try a reel. I really want to run a marathon. Okay, whatever. Fill in the blank. Whatever is that thing that you want to do, whatever is in your heart, in your body, in your soul, the thing you can't get out of your mind, just start. The only thing that is stopping you is starting. It's you. It's your thoughts. It's your actions. It's your system of belief. Now, I totally get it. You can list a million reasons why there are other people who are more talented or more qualified or smarter than you or have more money, who have more time. They don't have as many kids as you do. Okay, I get it. They're not you. You have a gift to share with the world. So all I need you to do is start. The action leads to clarity. At the time of this recording, there are so many things I don't know in the business of Social Curator. There are so many decisions. Do you have decision fatigue? Friends, I got decision fatigue. Sometimes when my husband asks, where do you want to go for dinner? I look at him with like Eeyore, like Winnie the Pooh Eeyore, that big old gray donkey with the droopy eyes. I look at him with Eeyore eyes and I'm like, I don't know. Like, it is quite literally, please do not make me think. In fact, just a few days ago, we did a staycation as a family. And my husband's like, are you going to pack your bags? And I look at him with my Eeyore eyes. I'm like, I don't know. And he's just like, what do you need? And I said, I can't decide what to pack because my mind, I have made so many decisions about in the business that I couldn't even decide what's going to go in this overnight bag. And so poor sweet JD, he's like, I will pack your bag. Now, friends, I'm not going to talk about the outfits I wore, okay? Because the intention and the help was there. I didn't have to pack my bag. If I didn't pack my bag, I can't complain. Ooh, my voice be cracking because the truth be coming out. I know what decision fatigue feels like. And yet in the business, when I don't know what to do and I want to stop and I want to quit, I simply decide to do. That is our only option, friends. I am telling you, by not making a decision or by not taking action, you're not getting you closer to where you want to go. I believe, my system of belief, you could disagree with me. I believe, and I have seen well over a decade and change in my career, that the only time I got results, the only time I found the answer, the only time I found the clarity that I was literally begging God for, I was like, God, give me clarity on what to do. And then I didn't do anything. How is the answer supposed to come to me? It was only when I was like, God, give me clarity. This is what I'm going to do. Like, help me not do it a long time before I figure out that it actually works or doesn't work. It was the action that led to clarity. It was just starting. It was just starting. It was starting the business. It was starting to make a decision. It was starting to test. It was starting to talk to users. It was starting with the beta test. It was starting the project of running a marathon starts with running around the block, starts with walking around the block. Who are we kidding? Do we have the humility to walk around the block before we ever have the gall to say, I will run a marathon? If you can't walk around your block consistently, you're never going to get to the marathon. And I'm talking to myself more than I'm talking to anybody else. Like, this podcast is for me right now. I happen to be recording it. So other people who feel like I feel, I am tired of making decisions. I'm tired of always not knowing if this is the right decision. I am so tired of working on a feature for Social Curator and then people not adopting it as fast as I thought they would. I look at the data and analytics and say, people have been asking for this one thing. We're going to put it out. Great. And then what happens on it? I have to have the humility to say that the people who adopted it are going to be the people who are helping us get it better for mass adoption. And I have to tell you, that is not an easy system of belief to hold. It is like a runaway freight train of being like, was this the right decision? Was this the best investment? What are we doing? How is this actually working? And like, that crazy caboose needs to be put and rerouted on a track to be like, everything is yes. Everything. Did you just break up with somebody? Yes. Did you just get your loan for your business declined? Yes. Did you say something that offended somebody and you learned a lesson from it? Yes. Everything is yes. Everything that we think is good or bad is always yes. It's guiding us to the thing that we need to know. I'm going to say it again. I am creating this podcast for me, and I am recording it for you because I know what it feels like to be in the precipice of having like, man, I always feel like I'm not even a crier. And I sometimes feel like I'm like 30 seconds away from crying because I'm just like, this is a sticky time in life and business. I know what it feels like to have anxiety in your gut. I know what it feels like to look at and be like, kind of feel like a hot mess today. Feel like a little bit of a hot mess. I think those feelings are surfacing because you and me, well, we're passionate about what we want to do. We're excited about what we want out of life, and we want it now. And we want it to not feel so complicated. But I'm having this conversation to normalize the conversation because I think it's very easy to look at other businesses and other business owners and think, you're not a hot mess. It's just me. You have the answers. I don't. You have the support. I don't. You have the money. I don't. We don't know anybody else's story. We know nothing. It might look like something on the outside and we know nothing of it. But one thing that we can say is that there are people who start. You and me, we will start and we will do. And it is okay if you don't know where to start, but it is not okay to give up. I don't know where to start a lot of the time, but I'm going to repeat it for the people in the back. It is not okay for you to give up, because when you give up, the answer becomes no, and everything is yes. You don't know where to begin? Yes. You don't know what next step to take? Yes. You don't know what questions to ask? Yes. Those are coming to you, demanding of you to be a different part of who you are, to get a different thing in your life. If you stop asking questions, if you stop taking the first step, even if you think it's the wrong step, it's better than not taking a step. And the only way that you keep doing this is by putting one foot in front of the other. It's starting right where you are. It's using only what you have. It's doing only what you can. If that is 5 minutes a day, use it. Express appreciation for it. I want you to just start. And you just start by saying that today I'm going to be better than who I was yesterday. I know it sounds cheesy. But our mind, the vast majority of the thoughts, over 90% of the thoughts that we think every single day are negative. We beat ourselves up on a subconscious level. So if you hear me say, I'm going to be better today than I was yesterday, and you're like, that sounds cheesy. Whoa. You should just hear the negative narrative that could sometimes dominate my mind, unless I say, I'll tell you, I didn't think that I was going to say this. This comes out this year on the back of making massive investments to be a tech company and hiring a team and like running in a very different way. Sometimes I feel very overwhelmed with the responsibility for the team. I feel that way. And sometimes I wonder, are the bets that we're making, right? Every time you invest in your business, it's a bet. It's a bet on your business. It's a bet on yourself. And some things that come up for me is like, is this the right bet? Is it the right thing to invest in the business, in myself, in this way at this time? And what is very strong for me, what I've chosen to say is, it's going to work because I'm competent. And I know sometimes people might hear that and be like, competent? That's a little bit of a weird one. Like, why aren't you saying it's going to work because I'm brilliant, I'm kind, I'm good, I'm talented? You might think that, and I freaking love that for you. What came to me is I'm competent. I've never been the standout. I've never been the first. I've never been the smartest. I've never been the person that somebody looks at in a room and was like, that girl, like that's the black stallion of the group. Never in my life. And I've learned to be okay with it. One thing that has come up very strong in the entirety of my life is I'm competent. I won't likely be the most talented, the quickest, the smartest, the fastest, but I'm competent. I can do a lot of things, just barely good enough, but it makes me lethal. I've never been really, really good at one particular thing. I'm kind of just okay at a few things, and that makes me competent. And I think to myself, competence is wildly overrated. And I think we're going to be okay because I'm competent. I'm a competent leader. And I'm working towards it being a much better leader, a much better investor in the business, a much better visionary for what this business requires. But as of now, until I get better, I'm competent. So the narrative I tell myself is that I am better today than I was yesterday because I learned what not to do and what to do. I am better than the excuses I used to give myself. I used to say it was because I didn't have money to invest. I used to say it was because I didn't have the education. I used to say it was because I didn't have that network or those friends. Those were all excuses, and the excuses were holding me back. I chose to tell myself, not only am I competent, but I have what I need right now. I have what I need right now. I started trusting I have what I need right now. I can't be at that point because I am not ready, either intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever it is. I am being prepared today to be in that room tomorrow, next week, next year, next decade. I am going to get to where I want to go. I need to be shaped and molded right now. And do I have the humility and patience to be better than my excuses? I am better than the circumstance I am in right now. I'm better than this. But do I have to understand that what I'm going through, these really, really hard moments and these really, really big decisions, am I better than this? Am I going to let it beat me down? No. And that's an active decision I have to make every single day. So just start. Do you want to start a business? Start today. You want to run a marathon? Start walking today. Do you want to bake a cake from scratch? Start learning what things you need. Do you want to film your first reel? Start today. If you want to create a course, start today. If you want to be one step closer to the thing that you really want to do, then take one step forward. Today, I talk to so many business owners and they're like, okay, I've laid out all the things that I need to do to get this thing in my business. So here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Jasmine, I don't know what's happening at step 6. And I'm like, you haven't even taken step 1. Why are we even talking or worried about step 6? Step 6 is going to come to us only after we've gone through steps 1 through 5. So today, start. If you want to empower, if you want to educate, if you want to entertain, your progress isn't found in your dream, right? The dream, I can't wait. No, it's the action that you're willing to take to achieve your dream. Perfection, like it's got to be perfect. I need to know the answers. No, that's got to get thrown out the window. We don't have time for perfection. Perfection doesn't serve your business. Perfection harms your business. Perfection slows you down. Perfection beats you up. Perfection is an illusion that perfection is a shadow we are trying to catch. You want to compare yourself to others? Let that trash go. Somebody is better than you. Somebody smarter than you, richer than you, skinnier than you, funnier than you. Somebody is better. That is facts. And somebody's not as good as you. That's facts. But who somebody is or isn't in relation to you is none of your business. Whoever you are looking at didn't get to where they are overnight. There is somebody who's looking at you, tipping their hat, being like, I don't know how that person is doing that, all things considered. There is somebody looking at you wildly impressed with the work that you're doing that you won't even see for yourself. The assumptions that we say about other people, oh, they're more educated, they're privileged, they're luckier. I'll go back and I think to myself, that's an excuse. Those people did things faster than I ever could. They just took messier action and they took scrappier action and they took imperfect action. So I started taking messy, scrappy, imperfect action. And I'm telling you, it's exhausting. But I started seeing results. And then I quickly realized that the only thing that was stopping me then could be the same thing that's stopping me now. Me, my inaction. So I just want to start every day with a restart and saying, today's the day I take that one step. So I want to remind you and me, let's trust our crazy ideas. Let's trust the crazy idea. Let's embrace not having the answers. Let's chase after failure. Like, what does it look like? Let's have an experiment. I don't ever want to refer like, I want to have a failure. No, I want to have an experiment. And if the experiment it doesn't work, it was an experiment. And if the experiment works, great. But it was still an experiment. Because I've come to believe, and this is the thing I tell myself, as cheesy as it is or whatever, that everything I need to accomplish what I need to do is already inside me. Everything I need is inside of me. And everything you need to accomplish what you want is inside of you. If you choose to believe that, it's true. Now, I know you might be thinking, but how do you just start? Like, what does just starting look like? Well, I don't know what the answer is for you because I don't know what it is you want to do. But if you want to empower somebody, okay, well, start uplifting by sharing an inspirational quote. If you want to educate, start teaching by featuring something you've learned or know. If you want to entertain people, well, start by creating a story that disappears in 24 hours or create a reel for fun. I have learned and progressed in most of my life and business when I show up without all the answers and without all the resources like that I think I need, like, oh, I need this. I can't do this without this. I've realized that I have progressed the most when I show up without the answers and without the resources, and I just start. Starting for me in the past 2 weeks has been, okay, I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling Social Curator users and saying, how can we make it better? That's just me starting. I don't know what to do next. So I'm doing one thing. And if I get answers or results that spark the conversation, great. And if I don't, well, I'm going to try something else. I'm sending a survey. Do I know what to do next? No. The time of this recording, less than 24 hours ago, I sat around a large table in Burbank with our tech team, and we had a list of 9 things that we were going to experiment with in the next 30 days with our tech. We were changing formations and formulations, not formulations. That makes it sound like we're scientists, but maybe we are. Like maybe we're like digital scientists and we just don't even know. Like maybe we're creating that term. I think I'm going to trademark digital scientist. Anyway, we have a few experiments, bacon, and we're going to test them in 30 days. Do I know they're going to work? No, not remotely, but I'm starting. So this is me lovingly, talking to you through, I don't know, car speakers, earbuds, Bluetooth speakers, your computer while you're editing, or your computer while you're working, or your iPad in the kitchen while you're making dinner. So lean in real quick because I'm about to say something. Stop the excuses. Stop the comparison. Stop with perfection. What you want is possible, and what you want can happen. The dream, the thing that you want, it's waiting for you, but it's not going to happen until you start. And it's not going to happen unless you choose to restart every single day. So look at me clearing my throat. Being a digital scientist, we decided to try something just a few months ago. We're like, what if we offered a free trial to Social Curator? It's an experiment. It's an action. So 14 days, free trial, socialcurator.com/trial. And then you're going to have a personalized login and you are going to get access to the dashboard. And what we want to do is simply show you what it looks like with caption templates and story sets and a gallery full of images and a caption library, and post drafts that you could schedule and or auto post to a social platform so that you are present and growing your business and still doing things and moving the needle. This is an experiment. So how about you help this digital scientist? What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free trial. If it's terrible, let me know. If there's ways to get it better, oh my God, you let me know. I will personally answer you. You could send me a DM. I read them every single day. We have a feedback board. We put votes. This person wants this person wants this. And then we go back and we look at all the cards, and the ones with the most votes, that's what we move to next. Y'all, when I talk about scrappy action and when I talk about just starting every day like a restart, this is it. You're hearing it happen in real time. I can't wait to see how you start. In fact, send me a DM. Tell me what you're starting today. I want to root for you. You might not have anybody in your corner. You got this brown girl with big hoops out here rooting you on. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for being here 1,000 times over.